welcome to another episode of Legion Elite Motorsports. I'm your host, Isaiah, and today we're going to learn a little bit about me.
What is your name?
Isaiah.
Where do you reside?
I'm currently in Orlando, Florida.
Where are you from?
Originally from New York City, born there, and then moved to Florida.
How old are you?
34.
What made you get into cars?
Well, when I was younger, it was either butt naked wrestle dolls or cars, so went for cars.
What was your very first car?
It was a 1985 Honda Civic.
So we're not into Civics.
No, not a big fan.
How many cars do you currently own?
3.
From your very first car till now, how many cars have you had?
And then carry the one. Probably over 10.
Pretty expressive amount. With your current cars, the Mirage, the Starion, what are your end goals?
Well, for the Mirage, I want that one to be visually appealing. The power to be about 500 horsepower, so we're kind of a long ways away from that. And then for the Starion, the silver one, that one I want it to be completely repaired and repainted, and also the power to be 800. Don't laugh, it's doable. And then for the black one, I still have to introduce you guys to the new owner of that one, but that's in a later video. We're still putting stuff together. But anyway, for that one, it's going to be more closer to a daily driver type car. So that one's going to have air conditioning, everything working like normal, but just a lot more power. I would say end game for that one would probably be around 300 also.
You recently turned the Mirage from automatic to manual, right?
Yes, I'm actually still working on that part. Since I lost an arm, I haven't been able to continue it, but yes, it is functioning properly.
Speaking of arms, how is it doing?
Still pretty good. Not too bad. Still got a little ways to go. Still limited with my mobility.
Okay, shifting over, what was your favorite car and your least favorite car?
Well, my favorite car is definitely the Starion, at least the ones that I've owned. And my least favorite would have to be the 2 Hondas I own, because they were just as bad as the Mitsubishis, breaking down, falling apart, So that would be the 85 SI, and I did have a DA, which is a 92 Acura Integra, and it was turbocharged, so lots of problems there.
Recently on your Instagram, you posted about your 93 Infiniti G20. Can you tell us about that car?
Oh, that one was interesting. That, when I was actually looking for a 4-door car, I was originally supposed to get this in manual, but I couldn't find it. So what I ended up doing was going through a couple of different cars to see which one would be the possible candidate to, put some work into. And the Infiniti was the winning one.
How many Starions have you had?
3.
3.
I had a white one, 87. The silver one I've had for going on 11 years. And then the black one is the 87 also, and that's new, as you guys have seen.
What made you get into the Mitsubishi game?
Well, growing up with my mom, she always had like crappy cars, but the one nice car I remember and that we both liked a lot was a 94 Galant LS. So it had the sunroof, the CD player, the nice sound quality, the leather seats, and as a kid, that car was pretty quick. So after that, I was stuck. I mean, underdog or not, Mitsubishi's my home.
Do you ever plan on bringing the Galant back?
No, probably not. I have other models in mind. Of course, it's going to be a surprise because we're going to be building all of them. Shit, I'm almost close to having a museum. But anyway, probably not the Galant.
Galant, but we do plan on seeing other Mitsubishis.
Oh yes, definitely, definitely.
Wonderful, wonderful. Back to when you were a child, when did you get your first car?
Ooh, I was in high school. I want to say 10th grade.
Did you build on that car?
No, it was a Honda.
So I know that you don't drink or smoke. Were you ever in any trouble when it came to the cars?
Oh, yeah. After I got rid of the Honda, my trouble began with the Eclipse because it was turbocharged. The power was magnificent at the time. I don't know what was done to it beforehand, but it was at 15 pounds of boost and it would just spin tires. So, and it was front wheel drive, which sucked, but yeah, I remember there was a time where here in Florida they have the street fever is what we can call it. And basically me and a couple of friends would load up in the Eclipse and, you know, just dog some cars out. I've taken down a BMW, I've taken down some Toyotas, Hondas, easy, and a couple of other cars. And, you know, being in the street racing scene, it involves the local officers. So one time I was on the way to the races and this turbocharged MR2 was, you know, at the light. And my friend, you know, he was recording with his camcorder. And once I, excuse me, once I, you know, gunned it at the light, in the middle of the race, I realized that it was a undercover, not regular law enforcement, like
Highway Patrol?
There you go. It was the Highway Patrol. And man, he spazzed out. Like I seen in my rearview mirror, he went into oncoming traffic trying to catch up to us. And you know, this was my first time ever, you know, being involved with them. And I was nervous watching him chase after us. And long story short, he pulled us over and, you know, he was going to write a ticket and all of that other stuff. But at the time, I only had a learner's permit. So I technically was underage and not allowed to drive. So, well, at least without another adult in the car. So anyway, so he stumbled upon the video camera. And him and his other police officer friend opened up the camcorder, and you would have thought they would have grabbed a bag of popcorn because they were just sitting there like, oh. I'm like, wow, okay. And then, yeah, because it had a lot of footage. And he basically told my friend, if you don't release this camcorder to us, you're all going to jail. So he signed over the footage, and guess who was famous? This guy. Why? Because the following day, that footage was played on the news. And I didn't know that. And my grandma called my mom and said, oh my God, my grandson's on TV. What did he do? Is he okay? Is he in jail? And my mom said, no, what channel? What are you talking about? Which my mother already knew that, the whole event took place. But yeah, it got crazy from there. So granted, I'm still in high school. I went to school and it was like, I was famous. Like people were like, oh man, it said on the news that you got arrested and all of this other stuff. And I said, no, if I was arrested, I wouldn't be here. And it was like, oh man, but that car's fast. Is it here? I was like, yeah, it's in the parking lot. So anyway, along with the fame and all of that stuff, I learned a couple of things, and then let's just say it got worse. So fast forwarding, I learned a couple of things about what they're allowed to do and what they're not allowed to do, and I kind of used that against them. So because of all of the events that happened there, I lost my license. Too many tickets in 1 year and all that other stuff, special insurance, whatever. And I ended up just running. I had to get to work. I had to get to school. So I made up a rule. If they follow me twice, gun it. And that lasted me about 3 years. And from that point on, I never got in trouble. As weird as that sounds, but they couldn't
legally.
Yeah, they couldn't catch me. Okay, let's just put it out there like that. And basically, once I got my license back, I was able to stop running. So, yeah, a lot of trouble for a long time.
When's the last time you have a run-in with the law?
Well, see, what had happened was, right? Well, see, so some things had happened where,
How recent was this?
well, definitely before this, but, geez, I want to say 2 weeks? About 2 weeks? Yeah, something had happened, and I was showing out. I haven't seen some friends in a long time, and it was like, yeah, man, it sounds awesome. I want to see, a little skid. Let me see a skid. I'm like, all right, well, me not paying attention to my surroundings because of my old age. Yeah, local law enforcement, and wasn't really feeling the whole ticket vibe and all of that, so yeah, I skedaddled, and my memory of how things were is what I applied, and hi, I'm still here. So
So no more running from the cops.
No, not on purpose. Not on purpose. I was I shouldn't have did it then, but court and everything, and time and money. So, no taking away from, we're trying to add to. So, yeah.
So, running from the cops, you've never been in an accident or have caused an accident.
No.
Have you ever been in an accident?
Yes, actually, I was riding passenger. I didn't do it. So, I was working doing mason work, so I was building walls. And I just got off of work, and I just cashed my check. I was feeling happy. I had money in my pocket. It was nice. And then I was riding with my friend, and he had an 88 Mitsubishi Cordia. For those of you who don't know what that is, it's actually more rare than the Starion. But it's front-wheel drive, 1.8, turbocharged, 2 valves per cylinder, just to give you an idea. But we was riding over to his girlfriend's house to, go chow, chill, hang out, whatever. And we were, driving and talking because he was telling me, he just finished putting the new tires on his car and so on and so forth. And we were in the left lane. And then for the oncoming, there's a turning lane at the light. So there was a car in front of us about maybe a car length in front of us, maybe a car and a half. And the truck driver, it was a pickup truck, he tried to, punch it and squeeze between us. But we were so close that there was no stopping. So the skid marks were short and smashed. That was it. So that instance happened, and he was flown off to the hospital, and I was brought to the hospital in the ambulance, and that's where I got all of the cuts on my face and on my eye and under my chin. And in this hand, on these 3 fingers, there's 2 screws per finger, and something that looks like a spider hugging the bone. So there's 3 of those for all 3 fingers, and yeah, that was a little bothersome. I mean, I slept most of the time, so it wasn't too bad. But yeah, that was the only big accident. Like a lot of my friends were passing by and seen it, and and had to tell my mom what happened, and she drove down to the hospital and everything, and yeah. So.
How long were you in the hospital?
Only a couple days, because they had to send me off to a different hospital to do the hand surgery. So yeah, they had to do that, and then they took x-rays, which didn't really help, because they said I had a fracture on my hip where the socket actually is, and they didn't even see the fractured rib or whatever. So I had shortness of breath coming all the way home to the hospital, and I sneezed or coughed, or one of the two, and the rib popped out, like, I guess back into place, because I was able to take a deep breath after that. But that was some shocking pain. That was pretty excruciating.
Okay, so are you friends with that person anymore?
I was for a while. I didn't blame him for the accident because it wasn't his fault. But his girlfriend at the time was saying he was starting to change, and then he jumped into drugs and stuff like that, so I just kind of stayed away. But yeah, so long story short, no.
Do you have any regrets?
Just a couple. I would say anything that damaged my body to where it doesn't function the way it used to. I say that because it affects your driving and your reaction time and stuff like that. So it would definitely be that, and maybe getting rid of a couple of cars I should have kept, like that Infiniti. And I had a 88 Mighty Max extended cab 5-speed with a Starion motor turbo. I should have never got rid of that because I was being lazy and didn't want to change the piston rings. So yeah, couple.
Your biggest accomplishment?
My children. And besides that, it would be my wife. Of course, she's an amazing person. She definitely works hard. And she's an awesome mom, cool points. And I'd say my cars, that's a big accomplishment also. I mean, they've come a long way, and from this one, from nothing to something, in what I would call a short period of time, so that's pretty good.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. I have 2 more questions. My first question is going to be, what do you plan on bringing to the industry?
Well, what I plan on bringing to the industry is basically, for those cars who don't have aftermarket support, I do plan on touching bases with each and every one of them, of course, one at a time, to get parts made for them. That was kind of my main focus. But I think that if I'm able to also jump into some cars that do have aftermarket support, but not everything you want, you know what I mean? Like some cars have everything except maybe a turbo manifold or, suspension or whatever. So I want to kind of touch bases in that area.
Alrighty, and my other question is going to be, what can we look forward to in the future?
Lots more cars. I think, once we move into our own house with some land, I plan on hopefully putting a shop kind of thing together where we could fit at least like 10 cars, maybe more, some lifts. Cross my fingers for a dyno. We'll see. But, some of that and, just some fun. Like, I'm ready to take these cars and get on the road and, have some fun. Hang out with some friends with them and, enjoy.
Do you plan on staying in Orlando for that?
That depends. I would like to, but prices are kind of steep and you get a cottage for the price of a mansion, so it's kind of depends. If I do, it would probably be like an area where there's not that many people, but a lot of land. So definitely depends.
Do you have any last words?
Yes, make sure you subscribe. That's very important. We are reaching the cusp of 400 subscribers. And click that bell icon to make sure you get your notifications every time I drop a new video. And I am going to be working on some merchandise. I already have some great ideas. And I just have to find the right company to put it together. And also, stay safe. Don't run from cops. And with that being said, I want to thank all of you who have already subscribed. I really appreciate it. And I enjoy doing this for you guys. I actually heard from someone today when they looked up how to do the slave cylinder. My video was the only one that popped up. And that's exactly what, I want to, have for you guys. Just some great content, great cars, and really have you guys on board for what I'm doing. And also, I wanted to break some news to you guys. There's a new car that's going to be added to the inventory for 2020. Some of you guys know I haven't dropped any hints, via Instagram or Facebook, but I think you guys are going to love it. It is, I'll give you a hint, for those of you who don't know. It is a Mitsubishi, except it's all-wheel drive. Stay tuned. I'll see you guys next time.